everybody, and welcome to another ASMR video here on the channel. I'm coming to you live from a very, very sweaty office, but I really need to film this video. I filmed my kind of holiday content all out of order, but this is the last of the videos. I can't remember when this is coming out, but to be honest, it might even be the week of my wedding. So that's essentially the reason I've managed to get a couple weeks ahead. So there won't be a drop in content while I'm tying the knot, so to speak. But anyways, tonight I thought we'd revisit a conspiracy theories topic that I did ages ago. A good couple of years ago, I think. I'm pretty sure it's that video in where my hair is diabolical. I think it's like I've got like a mop, really long fringe. I think it's that one. So I thought we'd redo it, and we're going to be talking about Antarctica. A super fascinating topic that this particular area has attracted so many conspiracy theories over the years, so we're going to be diving into a few of them tonight. So I really hope you enjoy this video, and let's get started. We begin with, were pyramids really discovered in Antarctica? Depending on the sorts of sites you frequent on the internet, you may have caught wind of a rather head-spinning idea: the possible existence of man-made pyramids in ice-locked, almost wholly uninhabited, aside from scientists and research-based staff, Antarctica. Is it true? Are there really hidden or half-hidden monuments under Antarctica's ice sheet? If so, who built them? Aliens? Ancient vanished Antarctic civilizations? Or far-ranging Polynesians? Well, we don't want to ruin the suspense, but let's cut to the chase. There is no evidence for human-constructed pyramids on the white continent. The features that seem to suggest such structures are nothing more than Mother Nature's good old-fashioned topography, which can be downright spectacular here at the bottom of the world. So, pyramids in Antarctica, an internet sensation. The notion of long-ago human societies around the South Pole is not really a new one, and only one of a slew of conspiracy theories and wild speculations, Nazi, UFOs, etc., that this most far-flung and mysterious of all continents has inspired. Some such theories point to the geologic reality that Antarctica once enjoyed a warmer climate, with areas of lush vegetation, as evidence that bygone peoples might have been able to settle on what's now mostly a frozen, brutally cold wilderness. Talk of Antarctic pyramids really revved up in 2016, thanks to the release of satellite imagery that showed a cluster of pyramidal cones in the southern Ellsworth Mountains, the loftiest mountain range in Antarctica. Most striking in particular was a black snow-smeared tooth whose keen edges, slanted triangular faces, and sharp summit point seemed to suggest nothing else than a carbon copy of Egypt's Great Pyramid of Giza, transported to the polar wastes. While a flurry of headlines claiming pyramids discovered in Antarctica resulted, geologists weren't having it. The pyramids, these experts pointed decidedly unmysterious, though still of course extraordinary, geomorphic processes. The main attention-grabbing pyramid captured in the satellite image is a roughly 2 square kilometre, 4,150 foot peak in that southern lower section of the Ellsworth Mountains known as the Heritage Range. A November 2016 article in Life Science debunking its rumoured artificial origin quoted glaciologist Eric Rigno of the University of California. "This is just a mountain that looks like a pyramid." Indeed, the Hermitage Range peak appears to be a textbook example of perhaps the most impressive category of mountain shapes, the pyramidal peak or glacial horn. Such a mountain has been carved into on multiple faces by adjoining glaciers, which whittle out concave cirques that converge at the summit to form a toothy point. The most dramatic of these horns have 3 or 4 faces separated by knife-edge ridges called arates, enunciating the prominence and sharpness of the summit. A 4-faced pyramidal peak is often termed a Matterhorn, named after the Matterhorn itself, that 14,692-foot fang of the Pennine Alps. That's probably the best known example of a glacial horn on Earth. Just as striking as the peak itself in the satellite imagery is its triangular shadow, while that Heritage Range horn that fired up people's imaginations in 2016 lacks a formal name. There are actually quite a few mountain peaks in Antarctica with pyramid in their official label. Over in the Royal Society Range, for example, there's the pyramid itself, a peak named by the British Antarctic expedition of 1910 to 1913, which edges the Goerlitz Glacier. There's another pyramid near the head of Hope Bay on the Antarctic Peninsula, a 1,854-foot nunatak that the Swedish Antarctic expedition of 1901 christened. While no evidence suggests ancient civilizations erected Antarctic pyramids, the White Continent's human history is still rather fascinating, with, for example, some continued debate over whether Polynesian navigators may have paddled their way into Antarctic waters many centuries ago. Yeah, I mean, bottom line, some imagery of a pointy mountain went viral and people said there were pyramids in Antarctica. Built by the ancient aliens, perfectly in line with the pyramids of Giza, which act as a teleportation or signalling device or time travel for the aliens. There you go. On to the next one. So we have the mystery of the lands beyond the ice wall. Reality or fiction? For centuries, the idea of undiscovered lands hidden behind massive ice walls has sparked curiosity and speculation. The concept has become a popular topic in both conspiracy theories and speculative fiction, capturing the imaginations of millions. But what is the truth behind the lands beyond the ice wall? Is it based on any tangible reality, or is it purely the realm of fiction? This article delves into the origins, theories, and potential truths behind this intriguing mystery. So, the origins of the ice wall theory. The ice wall theory has its roots in myths, literature, and modern-day conspiracy theories. One of the most popular sources is the flat Earth theory, which proposes that the Earth is flat and surrounded by an immense ice barrier. associated with Antarctica. This idea posits that beyond this wall lies uncharted territory, perhaps even hidden civilizations, unknown continents, or entrances to another dimension. The concept gained widespread attention with the advent of social media, where posts on videos on platforms like YouTube and TikTok have garnered millions of views. So the scientific perspective on Antarctica. The ice wall theory is rooted in one undeniable truth. Antarctica is home to the largest ice mass on Earth, spanning over 14 million square kilometers. It holds about 60% of the world's fresh water and is surrounded by ice shelves that can appear imposing and impenetrable. However, mainstream science maintains that Antarctica is not a wall, but a continent encased in thick ice, with no hidden continents or mythical lands lying beyond it. Numerous expeditions and satellite imagery have mapped Antarctica extensively, providing detailed information about its topography, ice sheets and subglacial lakes. Organisations such as the British Antarctic Survey and NASA have studied the region for decades, finding no evidence to support the existence of lands beyond a supposed ice wall. So into the theories fueling the mystery. Despite scientific evidence, the idea of lands beyond the ice wall persists, supported by several theories. Number 1, hollow Earth theory. This theory suggests the Earth is hollow and contains hidden civilizations beneath its surface. Proponents argue that there are secret entrances at the poles, including in Antarctica, which leads to these unexplored regions. While intriguing, no concrete evidence has been found to back this claim. Number 2, ancient civilizations and myths. Legends from various cultures speak of lands far removed from known territories. For instance, Norse mythology references Jotunheim, a land of giants often depicted as lying beyond icy barriers. Some proponents of the ice wall theory draw parallels between these ancient stories and the supposed hidden lands. And number 3, government secrecy and restricted access. The Antarctic Treaty, which was signed in 1959 and upheld by 54 nations, restricted military activity and unregulated travel on the continent. This has fueled speculation that the treaty serves to hide something extraordinary, with conspiracy theorists suggesting that governments are concealing access to these hidden lands. So is there any basis for these theories? While the allure of hidden lands is compelling, scientific consensus firmly categorizes these ideas as fiction. What a shocker. Satellite images, modern technology, and years of research have shown no indications of undiscovered continents or mysterious civilizations beyond Antarctica's ice. The extreme climate and terrain of the continent make it one of the most challenging places to explore, but advancements in technology have allowed for comprehensive mapping and exploration that leave little room for the ice wall theories to hold. So I want to jump over to the Wikipedia page for this one. The final experiment, essentially, it was a group of flat earth believers who went to go and test this theory and were very quickly humbled. So the final experiment was a 2024 expedition to Antarctica to test the validity of modern flat earth beliefs. It marked the first time that any modern flat earth proponents have travelled to Antarctica. So the expedition, which was organised by Will Duffy, an American Christian pastor who invited a total of 48 online content creators to Antarctica to witness the midnight sun, a natural phenomenon which contradicts most flat Earth beliefs. The actual expedition included both flat earthers and globe earthers. The fact that we have to brand people globe earthers is freaking insane. Selected to represent both sides of the flat Earth debate. After travelling from Chile to Union Glacier Camp in West Antarctica, expedition members live-streamed the midnight sun for several days. The participating flat earthers all admitted that the midnight sun was a real phenomenon. The larger flat Earth community has largely rejected the results and accused the participants, including the flat earthers, so they've turned on their own, of having faked the expedition and of being part of a larger conspiracy to promote the spherical Earth model. There you go. So, unlikely there's a giant ice wall. Sadly, would be a pretty cool idea, to be honest, but not quite. So, let's have a look at this one. I feel like this is pretty similar to the pyramid one. What's the truth behind the mysterious door spotted in Antarctica? So, Google Maps is often the gateway to unexpected discoveries, but this latest discovery may be its most bizarre yet. An eagle-eyed Reddit user found a peculiar doorway in the snowy continent Antarctica, just southeast of the Japanese-run Showa Station. The new find has ignited a flurry of speculations. Online sleuths are buzzing with theories, suggesting it could be anything from Bigfoot's vacation home to a portal to a secret Nazi base, or even a marooned Star Trek shuttlecraft. What exactly is this mysterious formation, and what's the real story behind it? Let's take a closer look. So many ads. Okay, so I'm not reading these coordinates, but a Reddit user mentioned the location coordinates while sharing the screenshot of his discovery, and simply posted a question: massive door in Antarctica. The image displays a satellite view of Antarctica's icy expanse, primarily covered in frost with scattered patches of exposed rock. At the centre of this viral photo lay an unusual structure that piqued everybody's curiosity. Just a blown-off Boeing door, quipped one user, referencing a shocking mid-air mishap last January, while another jokingly asked, "Wonder if they get DoorDash there?" Someone chimed in, "That's actually Bigfoot's vacation home." Others posited that it was the door to Agatha, of course, or even a big seed vault like the one in Svalbard, Norway, which contained millions of seeds for an insurance policy for the world's food supply. The theories continue to snowball, from Nazi bunkers hidden in the ice to a secret city deep within the Earth's crust. That said, this is not the first time Antarctica has piqued the fascinated conspiracy junkies. So what's the truth? Much to the disappointment of Reddit users, the truth is rather prosaic. According to the New York Post, the mysterious doorway is actually an iceberg. Bethan Davies, a glaciology professor at the University of Newcastle, reviewed the coordinates on Google Earth Pro, she's used the Pro one, and saw historical imagery, after which he told the publication, "This is an iceberg that became grounded and is now stuck and melting out in place." He added, "You can see many other icebergs in the area." Meanwhile, Professor John Smellie, what an unfortunate name, a volcanologist from the University of Leicester, also weighed in, telling the Daily Mail, "It looks to me like a short rocky ridge outcrop has been exhumed due to a lowering of the ice." He explained that the top of the doorway is the outcrop, with two prominent snow tails on either side that reveal the direction of the wind. Playfully he added, "What would we do without the conspiracy theorists?" I mean, where's this picture? I mean, it does really look like a door, but it equally looks like it's just lying like flat kind of thing. I don't know if it's just me, but it looks like it's been like dragged there though, to be fair. Like there's a bit of like a dragged mark there. But yes, like the first one, it's probably just a boring rock, okay? Right, let's go for this one. Hitler's frozen base. I don't know if you heard that, but I'm so hot, I'm like sticking to my gaming chair. You don't want to hear that, I'm sorry. Hitler's frozen base. Right. In the late 1930s, the Nazis showed an interest in Antarctica and sent an expedition to survey a part of it and claim it for Germany. The claim was not continued, but it sowed the seeds for a whole range of fantasies about secret things that might be going on. But what really happened? So, oh gosh, am I going to read this? Neuschwabenland, a little-known German expedition to Antarctica from the 17th of December 1938 to the 12th of April 1939 on the ship MS Schwabenland, had the purpose of claiming an area now known as Dronning Land, mainly to protect the German whaling industry. This area, however, had been previously explored by Norway and was formally claimed by the Norwegians in January 1939, after the Germans had set sail but before they arrived in Antarctica. The Schwabenland was equipped with a steam catapult and two Dornier while-flying boats, which were used to photographically survey 600,000 square kilometres. About a dozen aluminium flags were dropped from the aircraft at turning points of flight polygons, and others were left by foot expeditions. None of these have ever been recovered. The land surveyed was claimed by Germany in August 1939 as Neuschwabenland, named from the ship. The outbreak of war prevented two further planned expeditions and the possible building of a base, though most probably to the other side of Antarctica in the Pacific sector away from the Norwegian claim. The claim was abandoned in 1945. Now we have U-530 and U-977. On the morning of the 10th of July 1945, the German U-boat U-530 arrived at the Argentine naval base at Mar del Plata, near Buenos Aires, 2 months after the German surrender and the end of the war in Europe on the 8th of May 1945. Rumours spread that it had brought Hitler, Eva Braun, Martin Bormann, and others, and had landed them on the coast of Patagonia or Antarctica before reaching Mar del Plata. A week later, a Hungarian exile in Argentina, Ladislas Szabo, wrote a detailed account in a local newspaper of how Hitler and his entourage had supposedly escaped Germany. The story quickly spread worldwide and versions of it appeared in other newspapers in many countries. On the 17th of August, another U-boat, U-977, also arrived at Mar del Plata, further fueling speculation. The commanders of these U-boats and their crews were arrested and interrogated by by naval personnel from Argentina, the USA and the UK, and they all concluded that the arrivals were innocuous and the crews were released. 2 years later, in 1947, Szabo published a book, Hitler is Alive, where he claimed these 2 U-boats had taken fleeing senior Nazis to Antarctica as part of a submarine convoy. The commander of U-977 in particular, Heinz Schaffer, denied this, but the rumour still spread. In another version of the story, it is Hitler's ashes that were taken to Antarctica and placed in a special ice cave along with Nazi treasure. Szabo claimed a Nazi Antarctic base called New Berchtesgaden had been built in 1938 to 1939. This idea has been taken up by several authors over the years, often building on earlier embellishments, with tales becoming ever more fantastical as time went on. The submarine convoy and the New Berchtesgaden base both first appear when described by Szabo. There is no reference to either before his publications. Subsequent publications refer to what he initially described, and there has never been any evidence of either. Now, secret British wartime operations. While the Germans were not active in Antarctica during the war, the British were. Great Britain had claimed the sector of Antarctica, 20 degrees west and 80 degrees west, and to the South Pole in 1908. Argentina claimed pretty much the same section from the mid-1920s, and so did Chile in 1940. Argentina and Chile were both friendly with Germany. From February 1944, Great Britain occupied the region of their claim to rebut the competing claims from Argentina and Chile, under the guise of obtaining information about German shipping raiders and U-boats in the region. A number of permanently manned bases were established to this end, each with a handful of personnel under Operation Tabarin. Much scientific data was collected during this time and after the war. Work continued as the Falkland Islands Dependency Survey, which later became the British Antarctic Survey. Nuclear explosions. In August and September 1958, 3 nuclear explosions were detonated by the US as part of Operation Argus over the South Atlantic, between 38.5 degrees and 49.5 degrees south, between 2,200 and 3,500 kilometers north of Antarctica to the southwest of Africa. These were high-altitude bursts, and as might be expected at the time, at the height of the Cold War, were shrouded in secrecy, though they were reported soon afterwards, in 1961. So, looking a little bit closer at the secret Nazi Antarctic base proposed by various authors. Different authors claim different building times and locations of the supposed Nazi base. Sometimes it's described as being in a warm, ice-free oasis with lakes. Sometimes pictures of other areas are misrepresented or just plain faked. So, while there are ice-free or relatively ice-free areas in Antarctica, they are not warm. The lack of ice is due to the prevailing winds and low snow deposition, not melting. The supposed warm ice-free caves under the ice ground and source of geothermal energy to supply the base do not exist in Dronningmord land. Time and logistics. I mean, we're just debunking the fairly obvious here. Yeah, there's really not a Nazi base those who have visited the area of Neuschwabenland. Several scientific bases have been established there since the 1950s. The whole area has been mapped by satellite, and considerable air traffic has crisscrossed the area. None of this has led to the reporting of even the slightest evidence of a wartime Nazi base, as it was supposedly built in an ice-free oasis. It would not have been buried by snow. I think that would be... I was going to use the term poetic. Poetic is not the term, but something rather interesting about Hitler fleeing to Antarctica and probably dying there when, it's generally accepted he died and was burning in hell, but actually he was alive but freezing to death, the complete opposite in Antarctica. I don't know, what a load of waffle. That is it for tonight's video. I feel like some conspiracy theories have, I don't know, not all of them, but slightly more factual basis, not fully factual, but like 9/11 and like JFK conspiracies, they've got a little bit of history to them. I think the bottom line of most of these Antarctica ones were, oh wow, big rock in icy deserts. I don't know. What a load of old rubbish, eh? But hey, it's always fun to go through them, but it always worries me that there are probably people out there who believe this stuff. But each to their own. Whatever helps you sleep at night. And hopefully, this video made you sleep better. What a segue. I'm waffling. Let's just end the video. I really hope you did enjoy this one, everybody. If you did and you are able to, please do give it a like and subscribe if you're new.